Everybody, I'm here today to show you how to age paper fast and easy. This will be an easy tutorial for making paper look older. If you want to take a new sheet of paper just like this and make it look older, this is the video for you. Now you can use a blank sheet of paper like this, or you can use one that has some sort of text or picture on it, and you can make it look really old really fast. So the first step is to get a baking sheet just like this, and we're going to be using this to age the paper. You want to get your sheet of paper and you want to crumple it up. Now the more that you crumple it, the older that it'll look, because the more severe that the creases are, the better that it's going to turn out. So really give that paper a nice squish and crumple. When you're done, you want to uncrumple it and just open it up. These creases that you see right here are going to form a lot of the lines on the paper. They're going to really make it look old. So take it, uncrumple it, try and lay it decently flat on the baking pan. Next up, you're going to take some coffee. Now, the stronger the type of coffee, the better, but you can really use any kind of coffee. I have just some regular drip coffee right here. You can use espresso, you can use instant coffee, pretty much any kind of coffee that you want. And this is coffee that I brewed this morning. This is just left over. So it can be warm, it can be cold, it doesn't really matter. What you want to do is you want to get just a bit of coffee and you want to start spreading it on the paper. Now you don't want to flood the paper with coffee because that won't give you the effect that you're looking for. So I'm just going to pour just a little bit of coffee onto this, and if some falls on the paper, that's okay too, because I'm just going to spread it around. So we're pouring just a bit on the cloth, and some fell on the paper. Now I'm going to take this cloth and I'm just spreading it around. Like I said, you don't need a ton of coffee, you just want a little bit of coffee. The more coffee that you put, the more aggressive the old look will be, but it's better to do just a bit of coffee and continue spreading it than to flood the paper with coffee. If you flood it with coffee, it's really going to not make it look the way that you probably want it to look. It's going to be a little too dark. So in order to do this, you can get some spots that are darker than others, like I'm doing right now, right? So you can see I'm just kind of pouring it over some spots directly, right? But for the most part, you want to avoid having so much coffee in the pan, right? You want to just spread it, and some spots can be darker, that's totally fine, but you want to avoid having like coffee overflowing into the baking pan. The next thing is make sure that you spread coffee on the entire sheet of paper. Try to get it, oh, I ripped the paper. So, you have to be careful, obviously. I'm trying to go a little too fast because I don't want to make this video super long, but take your time. Okay, don't worry. It's still going to look great. I mean, even if you have a small rip in the paper, it'll still look fantastic, to be honest with you. But if you're dealing with a sheet of paper that you really don't want to rip, then really take your time. Okay, so spread the coffee on the paper, and while this is being done, you want to preheat your oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I ripped it again because I'm going a little too aggressive. You can also blot it on like that, but that's probably okay. For the most part, there's coffee all over the paper. What I like to do is you can just go like this after, just squish out any remaining just to really get a little bit extra in some spots like that. Okay, so once your oven has been preheated to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, what you're going to do is open the oven door, and I'll move this up over here. I'm going to take my hand like this. You want to open the oven door. Okay, let's open this up. This is already at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to place your baking pan inside of the oven. Okay, now here's where you really need to keep an eye on things. So we have this baking pan. If there's any excess coffee, you can get it off at this point. But you're going to place your baking pan in the oven with the paper at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to close the door, but you're going to turn on your oven light so you can keep an eye on it. Okay, turn on your oven light, and it only needs about 3 to 5 minutes. But you can take it out as needed, meaning if you look and you see that after 2 minutes yours looks old and aged, then take it out. If it takes 3, 4, 5 minutes, take it out whenever it makes sense. Do not leave this alone. You really want to keep an eye on it, because remember, you have a sheet of paper in the oven. So do not leave this. Stay here, keep an eye on it, set a timer for 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then take it out when it has aged, okay? Now, when it's done, when you see that it's aged, you're gonna take it out. Now, I actually just did one recently, and this is what that sheet turned out like. As you can see right here, I know the lighting isn't doing it that much justice. Let me bring the camera down over here. That's a little bit better, but as you can see right here, it looks quite aged. And this is just leaving it in for about 3.5 minutes. If I left this in a little bit longer, it would continue to darken and it would look even older. So it all depends on the look that you're going for. But as you can see, I know it probably looks kind of bright on the camera, but believe me, it is very coffee colored. There you go. You can see the difference between a part that I did not get coffee on and then the rest of it. So you want to get coffee on all of it. Leave it in for 3 to 5 minutes. When, I keep an eye on it, when it looks like it's done, you want to take it out. And it's going to look like this. Now, I'll just show you how to take it out. Very simple. Obviously, this isn't done yet, but I'm going to open this up. And when it's done, you're going to take it out. And you can already see that it's already starting to really bake in there. So when it's done, you're going to take it out. Remember, keep an eye on it. And it's going to look like an aged sheet of paper. It's going to look fantastic, like it's nice and aged. And if you really want, you can take some instant coffee grinds and just sprinkle them sporadically on here before you put it in the oven, and that'll really give it like a little bit of a really aged look. It all depends on your preference. But that's it. That is how to age paper fast and easily. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.